provisions is 3,500 to 4,000. In fact,
somebody else is, yes.
We've got Shantanu Prakash now joining in. Shantanu, of course, I'm not sure if you were listening to the discussion that that was taking place in the studio right now. That there are some allegations, and Educomp has, of course, issued clarification. I guess my colleague Varinder will be also joining in. First, we wanted to clarify on this issue of salary bill of 3,955 employees with a salary bill of 34 crores. Doesn't sound realistic.
No. I think, whoever has spread these fictitious rumors has totally not understood the business model of the company. As you might be aware, we work very extensively with government schools as well as with private schools. Whenever we work with government schools, we have to post one lab assistant in each school. In fact, that forms the bulk of our workforce. In fact, we have about 3,500 employees that are deployed on various government schools as well as private schools across the country. The typical salary of a person who is deployed in a rural government school is between 3,000 to 500 to 4,000 rupees a month. And the person who is deployed in a private school, these are lab assistants. These are entry-level people who've just done a graduation. This is the first job for them. And the salary for the person in a private school is about 7,000 to 8,000 rupees a month. So to look at this and then compare it to the salary of a programmer in an IT company, that's a completely baseless comparison. Because firstly, we are not an IT company, we are an education company. And you cannot compare apples and oranges this way.
And what percentage?
To draw a completely misleading conclusion.
What is the percentage of employees you say are earning between under 4,000 rupees?
Over 70% of our employees. That's the bulk of our workforce.
Okay. Varinder?
Well, Shantanu, this is Varinder.
Yes.
The debtors day is one important issue which has been raised by some of the companies or some of the analysts earlier also. I know that it has come down from around 176 in FY06 to around 145. Just clarify for our viewers, because in that report where the allegations report, they mentioned that it's around 8 months.
I think that's another example of how, the numbers have been twisted around. It's a well-known fact that Educomp's business model is a build, own, operate and transfer model, in which we charge the institution, whether it's a government school or it's a private schools, on a quarterly basis post the quarter. So our payment receivables for them, typically in a private school, it's 90 days, which is part of our business model. We bill after the quarter. In addition to it, takes us about 30 days to collect. So that's about 120 days. When we are working with the government, we take anywhere from 45 to 60 days to collect the payment. So the working capital cycle in that case can be as much as 150 to 160 days. And that's a well-known fact about Educomp's business model. And but as you can see, due to efficient collection and other lines of businesses, our debtor days have been consistently declining quarter on quarter since the company went public. So it's come down from 179 to about 145 right now.
So you clearly say that 8 months is not right.
Anybody who can read our annual report and just do basic arithmetic can know that this statement is false.
Shantanu, one more point from your side.
I would like to ask now is there's one allegation that the promoters have sold about 14 lakh shares to the extent of about 250 crores since the IPO has come out. Why are the promoters on a selling spree if you have so much confidence in the business?
You notice that the founders and the promoters of the company have not sold, in fact, a single share in the past approximately 6 months. The actual number of shares, and whenever you sell, by law, you have to make a disclosure to the stock exchanges, and the disclosures have been duly made, and we have submitted a detailed, date by date account of when the shares were sold. And the total number is 8,76,000, and that is only 5.07% of the fully diluted share capital of the company in 3 years. It's only 5.
That's exactly what I'm asking. Why do you need to reduce your holding from 60% to 55% after coming out with an IPO? Within 2 years of coming out with an IPO, why do you need to reduce your holding by 5%? That's still about 5% of your holdings, from 60% to 55%.
Well, the promoters still own over 55% of the stock in the company.
That's fine, but 60% in itself is not an unusually high number. What I'm saying is that there was no requirement for you per se to sell these 5%. So was there any specific reason that you sold this 5% to reinvest in the business or anything like that?
No, just for personal needs and just to create liquidity for the promoters. That's it. And I would also like to clarify here that there have been also some other rumors about promoters having pledged their shares. In fact, they've repeatedly clarified that there is not a single share of the promoter that is pledged in any form with any financial or non-financial.
Shantanu, have you sold any share after the price has come down from 5,500 to 2,000 odd? Have you sold any share after that?
No, if you look at the details of the, in fact, the average selling price, and this is very instructional to know that, is approximately 2,000 rupees.
Okay.
So we have never taken the advantage of the high prices. In fact, the bulk of the shares was sold at less than 1,200 rupees a share.
Shantanu, one question from my side as well. We know that the auditors of the company are Anupam Bansal and company. Now, there has been an allegation or question mark which has been raised, but will you like to point out or clarify that since the size of the company of Educomp is so huge, so give us more light on Anupam Bansal and company who are the auditors of the firm?
Well, they've been our auditors for the past few years, and we are, quite satisfied with their service. They are a, reputed local Indian firm. But apart from that, we are, I think, one of the few companies that have got two sets of internal auditors to grill our financials. In fact, on January the 27th, when we disclose our, quarter 3 earnings, we are going to unveil a corporate governance roadmap, and that is going to address some of the corporate governance issues very, very comprehensively. In fact, it's our aspiration, and that Educomp should be one of the top 10 companies in India as far as corporate governance is concerned. And if you, just one more point that I'd like to make. We have always set the standard for disclosures in the education industry. If you compare Educomp's disclosures with any other company that is one of our peers, you will see that our disclosures are the most detailed disclosures.
Shantanu, just one point on that share sale that we've been talking about. This 5%, was this in open market? If that was the case, could you have not come out with a private placement kind of an offer?
No, they have been sold in very, very small lots. And they've been sold in the open market.
So that's what...
20,000 shares, 30,000 shares, 40,000 shares.
That's exactly my point. In that case, why could you not have come out with a kind of a private placement? Because I'm assuming with this 5% stake sale, with the market price of 2,000 rupees, you would have made more money than by divesting the money in the IPO in the first place. So, I mean, the only question that arises now is, could there have been a private placement in place of selling 5% stake in open market? All said and done, 5% is a large stake. No, it's over a period of 3 years. You have to also note that. And there is no consistent pattern for that at all. And there is no premeditated, plan to divest 5%. It's been coming down over a period of time in very, very small increments.
Shantanu,
and we still own 55% of the stock of the company. So if you look at it from an overall perspective, a 5% dilution in 3 years is not a substantial dilution.
Well, Shantanu, a couple of questions more. Any of your independent directors resigned in the past several weeks?
No, none in the past several weeks. No, not a single.
In the past 6 months?
And not even in the past 6 months.
No, just to clarify, since that is an important indicator.
Yes,
and
absolutely, none.
One of the charges made by one of the brokerages is that you simply bought too many goods, too many computers. It's in the ratio of 1:1. And that could perhaps point to
that is again, yes. Can I respond to that?
Yes.
That's again, it shows that the person does not understand what the fundamental business of the company is. The company is in a business of entering into a contract with schools where we install computer equipment. So obviously we'll buy computers in each classroom, and it's a 5-year contract, and the school pays us for 5 years. In fact, this is a highly profitable business. So if we install computers worth 100,000 rupees in year 1, we get back 100,000 rupees almost in the same year. But we continue to earn for 5 years. So if you don't understand the business model, that's why you'll come up with queries like these. Or, of course, it might have been deliberately, misleading information.
Shantanu, since you are along with us, just wanted to clarify, has the company taken any loan from some of the banks? And well, the market was talking about anywhere between 800 crores to 900 crores, which the company has taken as a debt.
That's completely wrong. All the debts of the company are regularly disclosed in each of our earnings calls. In fact, the consolidated debt on the company, not including the FCCB, is approximately 275 crores on a consolidated basis. For Educomp on a standalone basis, the debt is approximately 40 crores. And the FCCB outstanding amount is approximately 316 crores, which is due in June 2012.
Okay, Shantanu, we'll have to thank you on that note.